Please like the video, subscribe, hit the bell down, say hi to YouTube. You know what it is, gang, tower guy, you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying? Androssi had the cheeks out, look at the cheeks, and she was cheeked up, you know what I'm saying? I had the left cheek, right cheek, both cheeks, you know what I'm saying? Looking right at me, and I was like, hey, yo, that's some cheeks. And then I saw the cheeks, so I was like, those are some good cheeks. And therefore, it's a good chapter. You get what I'm saying? Like, I know, I didn't, like, very, very, very good chapter because of the ass. Rack has been more. Wait, I read that. He's not even a character anymore, man. It's sad. Like SIU doesn't even care writing for him. Yeah, it is. I feel like SIU's dialogue recently has been somewhat childish, unless it's people translating. I think some of this is cosmic scans being garbage in what they do. Because I think the thought line was probably a meme thing they just added there. Hello YouTube. Also, what do you think? It seems like Keating has some capacity to be teamed up with Pobedal family. Did he not use their warp device to warp out? He also obviously knew what was going to happen to lead the. I think he might actually be working for himself. And what Gustang was saying at the beginning of the chapter is real. Like you're gonna lose your family. Like they're all gonna not betray you, but they're all gonna do their own thing. And like you're gonna see this conversation come up soon. And if you're on Patreon, you may have already saw it. Me and my boy Tris talked about like the latest chapters in Tower of God. And I was saying that ultimately, I actually think the thing that's going to help Gustang win is not that he's smarter, stronger than Traumare, any of those things, though those things are possible, especially the intellect part. I think there's a X factor that Traumare has that we're not considering, whether it's a specific anima. Maybe he's physically extremely powerful and can, like, I don't know what it is. But ultimately, I think Traumare's downfall will be the way he runs his family, because he's a recluse. He's introverted. He's misanthropic, if you will. He likes to watch bestiality porn in his room all day. Yeah, jacking it, whacking it, but he doesn't really run his family. They're estranged towards him. Even the ones that are close to him, like Lobadan, are like, I don't follow the will of Zahard. I follow Traumare. So I'm going to do this thing that Traumare didn't ask me to do for the sake of the family. And Gustang, I'm not gonna be like, Gustang is a great father. He's like my beautiful daughter Tiaro. How was school today? You're such a wonderful child. And oh, look at my son over there, Belleria, man. So it's like, but he runs like a company. He gives people important roles, rewards them for them, and gives them jobs to do, and gives them purpose. They have purpose in Gustang's company, if you will. And I think ultimately, because he runs his family better, that's why he's going to win. It's not going to be the schemes and machinations he comes up with. I could be wrong, though. That's in my headcanon. Speaking of Rack, SC is cool with including random characters but crazy designs, but he won't like Rack be normal size for once. He could keep his basic fit from season 1 robes with much rim. I think maybe it's hard for him to draw Rack. SU gave us a full Yuri panel, Androssi cheek panel, so yeah, this chapter is already better than the last few. Facts. How do you feel about Yuri's plan after that hangover? I stayed after the comparison just to ask this. It hurt me. Like even like when I went upstairs, I saw my pops like pour some Hennessy for himself. I'm like, I just don't want to look at alcohol. No high ranker drinks, high roll, whatever. I don't want any. No, I just only want. I want the water. As some people say, the water. I need some electrolytes, so I got the Gatorade. You know what I'm saying? That's all I want. You think Lope be a family really going to go down this sadly? Because if that's the case, it could be the biggest waste of time ever. I mean, I don't think SIU is above sacrificing a family to showcase someone's brilliance, honestly. Which families y'all think switching? I'm 90% thinking Ha. The only ones I'm sure one was Aria and Lopobia. You mean switching from Zahard? I think Ha family, Kun, for sure. Eurasia's family, I think, might ally themselves with Gustang or something. That's what I have for now. Hendo too. I don't think Hendo rocks with any of them though. Personally, that's my personal opinion. I think Hendo isn't fucking like anybody. I think Gustang is kind of underestimating Traumare. He might come on top. I think I somewhat agree with that. But that's why I'm saying I think it's the family structures and how they're run that's going to ultimately help him. Yeah, I guess Gustin could have just seen it coming from Keating too, but I never paid attention to the warp other ship device, so I don't know. That was just a normal warp ship, but they had the Popadal one was a normal one. Wasn't so special for Popadal one. Tron was chasing it. True. I like how Yuri questioned how Gustang is going to take the other families. Do you think another family is helping Gustang? I think another family might be helping him for sure. Getting directly involved in the war, no, but I think if he can prove himself, he might get the backing of other families now after the fact. Let's say like he completely demolishes trauma ring. And he's like, you see Edwan? What are you so afraid of, bro? Fuck the king. He ain't nice like that. They might rock with him. But I do think that different families will be on different sides. I think some will be pro Zahard. I think some will be like pro, I guess, follow Bam and or Gustang or whatever, and some will be like, leave me out of this. I'm a neutral party. I don't give a damn. Like I could see myself being like, bro, I ain't joining no fucking war. Leave me alone. You don't see I got money, hoes, and power. I don't want. I'm not jeopardizing that. Go away. And 100%, 90% sure Gusting had another family helping him. Maybe two Puri. I don't know about two Puri, but that'd be awesome. That was actually a decent Kun strategy. Guys made sense. Like I can't believe he know what Yuri would like to hear from Bam. It's more believable than the family head deal. I agree with that. I don't really care for Lopapia that much, but man, they're getting destroyed. It's not even a war; it's a slaughter. It's a what did Ace Vane say? Oh, I'm in the office because I was in the fight. Oh no, you got fought. You got your ass beat. A fight is when someone fights back. I said that's crazy. I like the revelation about Trump. Seems to make sense and consistent that he's a loner. Since I did think and said before in previous chapters that he seems to suck at running his family. He does. So Keating runs it. Two Puri is interesting. That's the other smart family, right? He's the god eye. Two god eye. True. All right, I'm out. Have fun. All right, take care. Take care, Corey. Thanks for sticking around. Yep, he had the opera and the god eye, or he or her probably know what Bam eats and shits. Will we have comments from the Koreans today? Lizard, we have the what does Korea think session today? Are we opera? I should I didn't think about it because I almost didn't stream today because I'm in so much pain. Let me see what I can find though. I hope Tiara doesn't fall for such a basic trick. She's a local Bia. She's a Pobeda. She should be smarter, a smarter character to fall for such old tricks, guys. Especially from a more meathead kind of character like Yuri's portrayal to be. There's a part of me that almost feels like Gustang is accounting for Bam escaping, though. I don't think other families would be a part of this, at least not fully. I don't think SAU wants this arc to be a full blown war between families. I think he just wants to showcase a bit of the 10 great families right now. It's the first time we're seeing him take action. Which family is second most loyal other than Lopobia? I might go with Han, RDA Han, swordsman. Probably him. I think so. Probably him. It would be interesting to know why Traum is so loyal to Jihad. It would be nice to know. I wonder if those memories are with Leviathan. My one friend actually thinks that Zahar doesn't want Traum Ray to get his memories back because it'll cause him to betray him, and Zahar is actually the reason he has trust issues. I guess it's kind of that loner loser kid being befriended by a popular kid Zahar, and because of that he stays loyal with him anyways. Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. Do you guys think that SIU was trying to lead us as readers into a bit of a false sense of security by having it almost overwhelmingly seem like the Pobeda was just from head top to bottom more competent than the Lopobia family, so he can flip it on his head and be like, "Oh, we didn't see that coming." Does anyone else get that inclination a little bit? By the way, what do you think of FUG going to help them? Loose leg can deal with Gusting and Traum. I don't think loose leg is going to come anytime soon. I'm kind of off the loose leg train. I feel like you guys are very good at getting me hyped up about loose leg coming. Like every time FUG's in trouble, I don't think he's coming yet. I think loose leg actually might be introduced when Bam is truly ready to lead FUG and he's strong enough to fight a family head or challenge a family head type of thing. Because it says that if loose leg moves, a family head is supposed to move in tandem with him, and no matter how dire a situation is, it's probably best for him to stay put so you don't have to fucking deal with a family head. But I'm not against seeing him. I'll say this: out of all the like super big wigs, obviously, and that's my princess. I fuck with her. The family head that I want to see the most is Hendo because he doesn't have the immortality contract, and I want to know why. And that's why I think he's actually probably adversarial towards all the others. I feel like maybe he didn't go along with what they were doing at first, or maybe try to walk back something he did, and then they're like, no traditional immortality for you. You gotta fuck for your lifespan. Every time you have a kid, you gotta take some of their lifespan so you stay alive. So yeah. Unsuch from with personalities climbing the tower. It doesn't seem like a loner. He just seems very withdrawn in general. and he doesn't really want to do stuff. Perhaps he wasn't quite like that before he lost his memories or something, but then he is more depressed without them. I think maybe with his memories back, he might be a little more active. I can see that. I like that. Depends on what SU wants to set up for the Gustang to be the leader in the final war. No, I think they are competent, but I think they aren't accounting for betrayals on their own side. Ah, what you're saying is I'm overestimating how tightly knit maybe the Gustang's family is. Especially if I think about the dumb nigga trio, he might not fuck with those niggas that were like that Rachel was like playing around with. That's interesting to think. Do you think Trom dying or Gustang is teaching him a lesson by showing him to connect with the others and having his family betray him? I don't think Trom is gonna die. I think if anyone loses, they'll kind of get sealed or trapped or put away, or their family will be destroyed. Pretty much, they'll have no constituents or no children or whatever. But um, I'm not sure what Gustang is thinking, man. I feel like there's another layer to this puzzle that I don't have yet. But I would say that he definitely wanted to teach him about the concept of death, that nobody's above death. That's for damn sure. First, I like your videos. You're funny. Most of the slaves we've seen are men. Do you think there's any woman layers or just a sausage party? Um, welcome by the way. Let me think. Let me think about that. Do I think there's any woman like? Yeah, probably. I think SLU does a generally does kind of a decent job with like balancing the women and men and whatnot. I think so. It's possible. I think probably. Do you think Bam will end up changing Jihad like he changed out of Jihad with Warmest Heart? I don't like. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens, but I don't really. I'm not a fan of redeeming villains all the time. I kind of like when they stay evil. I'm not really a fan of everyone being redeemed. So that's just true. If anything, you can call it erect. That's a good point. FUG Revolution beating Pobedao. Sorry, we're starting to see all the Pobedao important characters that we first saw when the ship pulled up on Rachel. Yes, during the last station. At this point, I see SOU trying to knock two birds out with one stone. Pobedao will end up beating Lopobia, then FUG or Revolution. Sorry I came in late, but y'all talked about Kidi betraying his own family. And is that the interest of Trom or other players? He said, Blech, Naruto. um, don't first of all, don't apologize for being late. You come when you come, and whatever time you're willing to give me, I appreciate even if it's a couple seconds. Hmm. Hmm. I'm having a hard time getting a read on Kirin, but I'm starting to think that maybe he is operating on his own and he's not Team Traumaray. Initially, we got that inclination when he says the irregular will be owned by Kirin, but I'm like, does he just have a weird way of speaking in the third person, or does he literally mean I will have the irregular? And since I already run the family with the power of, I don't know, man, I feel like there's too many people doing their own thing, and I thought maybe Keating was like a double whatever agent, where it's like he seemed like a traitor, but he really isn't. But I think the twist is actually probably going to be that Lobadan is loyal and Keating isn't. I think that's where he's going with this personally. That's my answer. Um. Also, just saying might just request Sophia assistance so people in the tree can come over. That's a good point. I'll peep my DMs. Thank you. Ooh, we got a section. We got it. We got it this week, boy. Keating definitely isn't going to do it in interest of Trom. I doubt that. I think Lobadan is for now. Dude, Keating just leave everybody to die. It was hilarious secretly. Nobody should technically like Trauma in his family because he can't run it. Lobadan seems to, though. He actually, because he's actually his grandson and really a loyal dude. Keating also probably salty because he has to run everything for Trauma as well. It's like, yo, this guy doesn't do shit. How does Keating think he can control Bam? Is he trying to start his family with Bam as a leader? I do think that if you have another irregular who becomes on the same level as the family at some point, you're stronger than every other family pretty much off rip. So that's what I think. But uh, um, all right, guys, we got it today. Are you guys ready for our favorite segment? What does Korea think? Woo! Hey, woo! Yes, Sirski! Make sure there's no cheeks on the screen because I'd be wilding, bro. We know what time it is, baby. Esther, you have to reflect this week. Let's find out. Will you have to reflect this week? It's so messy. I don't know what it's about. I want to see Bam versus that dude with the red hair. I want to know how strong Bam is. Dude with the red hair, red hair, red hair, red hair. Dude with the red hair. You're not talking about Yama. Who you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, the one that the fucking beast that was coming. Oh, that'll be crazy. Uh hopefully this low Badon hype is worth it. SU been gassing his power for a whole month now. Yes, what does Korea think? Will SU have to reflect this week? Alexander. Yeah, yeah. Who? No, okay. So it's a demon looking guy that was looking that they're saying was like gonna get the book. Is this a rough copy of the Tower of God, or is my understanding low? Um, Jews can teleport, but why do they? But why do they do that? Such an important book. It would take less than a few seconds to teleport and get it. But even if it's for the sake of the story progression, there are far too many things that fit together these days. I'm gonna keep it real. I am not interested in Bam fighting anyone anymore. We see Bieldo. What's going on? Everything, everything for Bam, with Bam, we are with him. Never, ever, ever speak such blasphemy of the Lord and Savior. He's saying, why doesn't Gustang just teleport to get the book? Yeah, no, I got it. Uh, this is a question that I ask myself all the time. Something going on with the picture? Yeah, there's some weird panels there. In short, in short, giraffes, not Troy Murray, actually make war. Troy Murray has no justification to stop the war. He must have lived this kind of life before, and Troy Murray has the idea of leaving the family by securing non-selected personnel. It is said to be a small thing, but it seems to love a small thing more than anyone else. It is the root of Burimi. Robodan knows the will of the family and moves to stop the. I guess it's got Gustang. In the case of direct war, Kirin, the key force, would betray, and it seems that Lopobia had no chance of winning. Gustang knew that Traumaray would eventually be betrayed by, I guess, his people. Therefore, as if he wanted to free Traumaray by killing all of the creatures. So by taking that, okay, interesting. Oh, Giraffe is Kirin. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Guess I need to keep Trom in check. He's saying he does. Why doesn't it go? Oh, I read it already. The Tower of God should have been climbed properly first, but how long it took. The charming setting with all the dreams at the top of the tower, the different positions, the wave catcher, the lighthouse keeper, the number of rooms, the itemization effect in the window. All the details are gone. I could agree with that much. The phobias are now just much of the animals and forbidders and just eyeglass jobbers. At least you have to climb the tower even if there is an unconventional ascension process as an unselected person, but trying to fight a war as a selected person is not immersive or natural, and it will continue to be unnatural. It is not that I care to criticize the writer, that I dare to criticize the writer, but I just feel that it has become a different genre from the Tower of God, where I look forward to the top of the tower and watch the ascension process with excitement. I feel this. Tower of God isn't the same story anymore. I've already accepted that at this point, so like I've changed my thinking, but I understand this perspective a lot. Korea's not feeling it this week, man. Actually, I'm dumb. I think the reason Trump is so loyal to Jahar is because, like we see, he has no interest in running his family. He's a loner, so he doesn't care. He's just trying to make everything stay balanced, so he's loyal to his king, whom he's supposed to be. There's some long comments this week. Yeah, honestly, a little confusing. I'm confused about the names because they both have Fabi in them. Maybe I'm not good with comprehension, but I can't figure out how the battlefield situation is going, and it feels too chaotic. Understand that. I've gotten really lumpy tonight. I don't like your face makeup too much. It's not fun, really. Lots of content and cuts. There's no significant content or development. It looks like it will be serialized for 10 years. I've been an avid reader since the beginning of part one. I can see the problem now, but it seems like the atmosphere of the work has become too light. Isn't the shadow brightening a lot? I feel like this. If you look at the atmosphere from part one and now, it feels different. Please accept the feedback is crazy. Please accept the feedback. Please accept the feedback. That's a bar. That's a bar. Please reflect, bro. Oh, that's crazy. He said, listen to the criticism. Yo, that's my goat right there. That's hilarious, G. Why to allow Kirin to become powerful, betray you, and wield your family name when a Trojan could easily kill it? The avid reader begging for it doesn't seem that avid. Please reflect versus please accept the feedback, right? That's the same guy who said please reflect. And you're on a roll. It's so messy. I know what it's about. It's a rough. Oh, it's a rough copy. All right, so I read all these already. Yeah, that's what does Korea think? Did I get this far? Sorry, give me a second. No, maybe there was there. Well, maybe. Oh, let me keep going. Blah 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 blah. With the pictures, a little confusing, chaotic. Where's this? Where's the space part? I can't tell where this is not the same. Oh, I think this. Oh, probably this divide here. I guess. Why has the Tower of God suddenly turned into a top tuned C minus grade Utah drawing? I'm really upset as a reader who has been watching since childhood. You don't have to sprinkle and collect a lot of rice cakes like One Piece. You don't have to expand your world infinitely. Sahar, 10 families, top 10 high rankers, strong non selected members, the strong people who arise during the natural ascension process. There are many episodes in Rahel Nyan that come out inappropriately. Tower gods and attract them that webtoon. Many readers, I studied the worldview searching for Pentaminum and Enryu that hasn't come out. Who the hell is the author of this manga at that time? That's what I used to say. The current Tower God is full of impatience, like a cartoon with irrational numbers. One try to draw too well, but rather, I guess it's time to time to get poisoned. What readers want is simple: the strong, whether the strong, whether they are villains or good actors, clearly divided the class and prevented the balance from collapsing. The growth of process of the night is simple, step by step. There are too many situations, too many characters, so there is no need to worry about new characters. Rejection and boredom. A pattern unfolds like an absurd episode. It's Tower of God, but the tower doesn't even climb. There are only miscellaneous episodes that I can't handle. It came on in a row. It feels like that. Simply climb the tower. Please develop existing characters rather than new ones. Jesus Christ. For real, for 5 weeks after the feedback, TOG became AOT and GOT while people were killed. Then we went back to pre-hiatus. Go down one. True, things have just been happening. I don't know why. People show up and get blown up. Apparently, there's a war going on, but generally doesn't have any impact. If the entire Lopez family was evaporated, I wouldn't feel anything in the slightest. Climbing has stopped a while ago. Now it's just politics in it. Yep. It's very unfortunate the story of climbing the tower, which was the purpose of the webtoon, has disappeared so much since the war is happening. From the third part, there's a feeling of regret. It's quite a story. I'm a subscriber who has watched Tower of God from the beginning until now. To be honest, I'm not having fun these days. I don't know what the meaning of today's upload is to progress of the webtoon. Even if I remove today's one, will it have an impact on the future? When I look at it all, I can't upload today. As a subscriber, I'm obliged to bake cookies and watch it, but I think it's time to stop watching. If it develops, I think it'll come out another 50 years. Are you a career changer or a civil servant? I hope you read the webtoon The Age of Superhumans and imitate it. Suggest someone who agrees. Well, are you just gonna use webtoons for sex appeal? I feel like I'm not good enough as a writer. I'm immersed in the store. Either I can't either read, but how many has it been? Those who keep cheering are not true readers. Can't you see the quote written on the toilet? A true friend will tell you your friend's face is dirty. Insufficient combat art, now incapable of leading a story, collapse of concept of each character's ability. The tower just collapsed. The morning was bright. I think it would be better to end it. I think it's almost getting to noblesse level. Hey, chill on noblesse, man. Looking at it now, Rachel saved this manga when it was a goal to find Rachel. The arrangement was clear. What is it about? Also, there are so many new characters. I'll send you the Tower of God. To be honest, I'm so sorry now. I'm so sorry. I'm tired of even saying things like this. Why has degraded? That's okay. Yeah, damn, they're not feeling it. But after this week, ain't it? We're actually going down floors now. Yo, yo, best segment. You're talking about what does Korea think? They are spitting. Stop adding 5 new characters every 2 episodes. They're sick of it. Yeah. Oh, the Koreans really didn't like this one. I see. See, I knew the content didn't make sense, so he's giving me fan service, and I held, and hence I will get a pass. But yeah, it's not. It's not the greatest. I think that's everything. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yo, it is what it is, dog. It is what it is. Korea is unmoved. They are not moved in the slightest, bro. Oh man, no, I was there for the back shot too. I zoomed in and everything. Oh shit, my hold on, laptop's dying. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. There we go. My fault. Koreans are redeemed after last week. Facts. We did. I was here for the Androssi back show. So was I. The Korean fans are ruthless. They're gonna start selling out a truck. SU got cloned. He can't drop bodies that well. when I learned Korean by a whole when I learned Korean by a whole truck to protest shit they don't like, and Darcy Backstreets are the only thing that could keep this fan base going. I'm surprised they didn't get moved this episode, considering how many X-rated manhwas there are. Maybe they're not. Maybe they're not. Maybe they're more of a like. I actually have no idea how South Korea is politically. Maybe because some societies don't like indecency, showing too much skin and body and things like that, and some places are just like, yo, let the titty out. So I wonder what Korea probably it's like most places, depending on where you are. Some places might be more liberated or not. So I don't know. In the beginning of Tower of God, there were clear goals and points like find Rachel, catch her, afterwards Bam being betrayed, and FUG and all of that. Now that we've come to this point, the beginning of season 3, what it feels like, a way different story, that's what's understandable. Korea is definitely like that. South Korea is a mix of USA but more conservative. I can't believe people never believe Rachel was carrying the story. Rachel was always the one. They are closet perverts, so they're gonna complain here. But go read. Okay, they're like okay, so they're like Japan, repressed society. You gotta be prim and proper everywhere you go. But they're reading dojins where someone's getting cream pied like 5 times in one night. if you show your girl, if you show your arms as a girl in Korea, old ladies there will make gestures to cover it up. Wow. Not even fan service enough to bribe the Korean fans. Even I was happy with this chapter, but they are unmoved. I mean, I thought the chapter was like very whatever and fine. It's still I like the issues they have with like the Gustang book things are things that I've had since it came up. Like it's not a new issue. I'm like, what are we doing? Like I'm just waiting for the part where it's explained, and I'll tell you if I think it was good or not. Kind of. So yeah. So are you guys do you guys feel like right now there's no central plot to Tower of God? Because first it was like find Rachel, then it's like climb to the top and get the wish. And with all the moving parts that have happened with some of the other plot lines, like the subplots, we have somewhat muddied the central plot, which is to get to the top and get a wish. Because Bam doesn't particularly care about the wish or climbing the tower himself. So, do you guys feel like right now we don't have a central plot in Tower of God? I mean, what you think? I just think Korea doesn't know what they want. No, Japan is way more progressive than Korea. Really, Korea and China are more conservative with clothes. Korea's a lot more so. Okay. I personally believe the chapter was decent. Yeah, I'm not mad at this. Whatever. Rachel is still the one. Facts. The problem with this chapter is just too much setup for a much later payoff. I can agree with that. I feel like Koreans have a lot of good points, but I am the mindset that it would be very hard at this point to go back to climbing. I guess so. I personally don't mind it. I was just trying to make a point that that's what the Koreans' complaint felt like. They didn't like this type of DOG now. That's fair. Kinda should just be happening a lot of the time now. It has a central plot saved in song. That shit just went crazy, and now we're in the middle of a war. Oh, true. That's a good point. I think the family head's plot lines has overtaken everything in the story. In my opinion, he's trying to integrate it with Bam, trying to accept his faith regarding Zahard. The plot is moving to a great war and moving further from climbing up the tower. Bam has not taken any decision in the plot ever since the end of season 2. He's just moving along the plot instead of moving it forward. Yeah, I feel it, y'all. And, you know, these things happen, man. It's like as much as I can say, with One Piece and Tower God specifically. Sorry, I know I'm like lying down. Sorry, God. I'm feeling some of the alcohol pain come back. Oh my god, I'm too old. But yeah, with these really long running stories, you just never know how things are going to change in terms of perspective or paradigm shift in tone and whatnot. Because like this has happened to me with so many things that I love over the years that as much as it hurts every time it happens, you kind of get used to it. I feel like Kingdom Hearts betrayed me, Danganronpa, some other long running things that I loved for many years came a point where I'm like, this is not it. And I'm not there with Tower God necessarily. It's just I just understand that this is not the story. Like 10 years ago, if you thought if I would I never thought we'd be here. It just it just took a different direction for whatever reason. Some people think it's partially Naver's fault because Naver became more of a business and became more like, you know what I'm saying? So it'll be interesting. It's interesting to think about. So yeah, I agree. I agree. I don't think it's too late, honestly. The plot is moving to a great war, not moving to the tower. Bam is not taking any decision. Oh, now I'm here for Bam's ascension and him becoming the beast that consumes it. Agreed. Even if Bam right now knows what he's doing, he saved his master and now he's interfering in war. He can still fix it. Even Dorsey's asking Bam the true questions, man. This arc doesn't solidify Bam's character as motivation. I ain't having him wishy washy self in my next arc. I'd argue we've always been following a plot of Bam getting led around by the nose and bamboozled into fetch quests for greater powers. I just don't think SU's done a good job with it in season 3. I honestly, Sly the Great, I agree with that. Funny part is if things go well, we won't even get to the war. One Piece. Oh yeah, One Piece has betrayed me. It's betraying me right now. I mean, I don't know. I'm in a weird place with One Piece. I don't know, bro. I don't know. So the book that Yama and Yas is fake. I think so. What's the point of them being there? Also, librarian definitely thought that was the real book. Would be interesting if Battle here lied to the librarian and is using it for his own uses. This is what Katana was saying earlier. That Gustang might not be accounting for people in his own family who want to gain some power and betray him. One thing right now, at least to me, it doesn't feel like Bam is in a story. Almost, maybe I'm just tripping. It feels like Bam doesn't actually do enough. I don't know how to explain it. I think the problem with reading weekly and long running series is a problem. Yeah, can't leave anything on Naver. At the end, it's his story. Fair enough. I mean, we only have seen 3 of Family Heads in like 10 years. I don't think it's Naver fault. I think it's just the issue 99% of mangas have. Authors being too amateur at the start and not knowing what to do when it gets too long. I think SIU gave if SIU saved the series, we might look at these chapters differently. It's possible. I guess people just want to move faster. If the cast were rankers by now, this war would have felt more natural. I think I agree with that, Malik. I guess another thing before the story felt more about characters, Bam and Rachel. Now it's a lot of different characters that we still don't really know, so people don't really like it because they don't know them. Yeah. I saw you really been making Bam say he has to accept his destiny and fight for like, every single arc of season 3. I'm so over that shit now. It's boring as fuck. It is. He has said that secretly a couple times. On another important note, when did Bam become so insanely jacked? That's what I was saying. Man was buff as hell. And Dorsey, you're looking good too. You know what I'm saying? You know, Tom Vouch, you're looking good, baby. You're looking good. I think authors generally underestimate the undergoing of massive world and ongoing plot. Things change, unfortunately. Yeah, I, I, I think a lot of things you don't consider too is like, so let's say like I think, okay, I'm gonna introduce Calivan and have him lose, right? And that was my plan. But Calivan becomes insanely popular as I'm writing it. My editor team and creative team might suggest that I actually don't kill him off or write him out or something. Because remember, there some not everyone just works in this by themselves. They have editors and people who are supposed to like kind of keep them on the straight and narrow, not just say yes to every whim that they put on the paper. So sometimes I wonder if sometimes it's things like that. Because like I think of like spoilers for Bleach, Byakuya Kuchiki in the last arc. From my understanding, from what I've read and researched, he was legitimately supposed to die and be written out the story. And despite the fact that was my favorite character, I thought that was a good send off for him. But then he like didn't die and he came back and then he was just there for like kind of like no reason. Like Rukia, use your power. I'm like, all right. A lot of people don't know that Sasuke was not a character that was in Naruto originally. Kishimoto was suggested that Naruto might have needed a rival character that's cool or whatever, and look what Sasuke became. that probably was not in the original draft of Naruto. Or maybe he repurposed someone else's character for Sasuke, right? So these are the things when you're writing a story week to week, pretty much for like decades plus, that I understand like is hard to deal with, and you might have to change some shit. Or maybe you have a super dope idea later on, like fuck, how can I make this not like ruin the whole story? So yeah, I think I hope the end is caked up. So do I. He said the second in command is either Beal here's plan to debate, which means Gusting was the one giving all the orders and leaking it to Lobadan. I think it's possible. I think that's happened to Yasracha. He became popular in SCUs in the middle of fortunately he's going to die. I think that makes sense. Peeper DMs, Elaine looks so different in the game. Okay, 1 second. I think you all been massively disappointed by Anne. Your expectations are way too high. Nah. I personally think his editors have a lot of weight in TOG. Possibly. That actually makes sense because I feel like Byakuya's actions didn't really make sense when they were all, after all, Rukia's execution business, they were trying to say something completely different about him. He needs to kill off Rock. Another thing in Naruto, supposedly Rock Lee and Neji were supposed to die in part 1, but she kept them around and didn't really plan their inclusion in part 2, which let them be. But yeah, because to me, you guys tell me how you feel about this. Even if it's a character that you love, would you rather see them go out in the story in a way that's like respectful to their character, or die in the story and no longer be there, or have the creative team kind of necromance, puppeteer their corpse, and they're there for no reason, not doing shit in the background? I'd rather my character die, even if it's my favorite character. I don't want you just standing around not doing anything. Like I actually think that the better alternative is to write them out. Oh, this is moving me tremendously. Let me save that. That didn't even work. Let me show you guys what. Let me show you what he sent me. Baby girl Elaine, bro, looking fine as hell. Look at her. So it's so inspirational. Clean. I like that. I like it. I like it. Super dope. Oh man, I'm drinking water only for the rest of my life. To be honest, the BAM story is not really interesting right now. I more want to know about what Wagnan's doing. I would love to see what Wagnan is doing. I would love to. I think Oda is an author who does and does not listen to his editors and changes ideas with the characters. Oh, I don't think, yeah, Oda don't listen. I don't care for the character that I love. I want the story to be good and make sense. I want them to have a purpose and serve it. They gave her Yetis. I personally think you should kill off a character if you're writing them like that. I agree. Kill them or find a solid way to write them out. Queen, Fire Emblem Elaine. Just don't have them just stand there taking up oxygen like Rack. It's hard to know. Maybe they are going to have a plot in later arcs. Elaine might come back for real. I have the El Baba. El Baba stuff is giving me hope. I got some hopium in my heart, some copium in my heart, but I don't know. I don't know if these characters matter anymore. The older characters, Wagner and who would be so much better if my favorite character has a good send off that could make that even more memorable. Yeah, I agree with that. I think we're gonna get Wagner at the end of the season, and he will be in the lead in the next season. I hope so. It's one thing that a lot of people complain about, like the new characters coming in. I agree with that, man. I don't care about all these new people. I care about the people I've been climbing with in the second and first season a lot. Like I want to see a knack. I want to see. Listen, I tweeted this the other day, kind of like the numbers, like for me, not like actual numbers for Twitter. Sorry, we're not on Twitter anymore. Zwitter. I don't call it X. I call it Zwitter. We zenden zweets. Zen zweet. We zweeting. Um, I said it's a travesty that Kun Ran still hasn't been in the story since the Name Hunt Station. It's a fucking travesty. I can't believe that I still haven't seen that nigga. Where is he? He was such an integral part of why I enjoyed the second season so goddamn much. Where is Kun Ran, bro? Bring him back. It's time, bro. I think we're too many characters, especially now in the spotlight. But I have hope for Elaine. What do you think the story should get back to track? I don't know if it's possible to go back to that, unless somehow you diffuse all the tension with the 10 great families, let them climb normally. But if they have to climb with like a target on their back, they can at least do the administrator games. But I just wouldn't have gone in this direction in general, personally speaking. But yeah. It seems SU is a fetish for just throwing in new characters. Most of the time, it ain't even good. Like right now, Bam's troop being so irrelevant is fucking ridiculous. Where's White? White is inside of Vincente. SU is a person is a professional bag fumbler. Only new good characters like Tiara. Yeah, we have like seen so many new ones. The only ones worth my time, bro. And the new characters are always high rankers. So the only person fighting is gonna be Bam. Hate him or love White. That dude makes things interesting. I agree. I liked White. I just don't like how he went out. Anak ran Anak and Dorsey early seasons. Couldn't fumble so much with great characters. Naya, you get Rand back, but Sachi comes back with him. You taking the deal? Sachi Faker? What a fucking loser! I'm taking it though. That's how much I like Rand. But I don't need him. It's too late to go back unless we just follow a different group of regulars. Would love to see the focus shifted from Bam to Wagner and Clam again. Yes, Wagner needs more shine, bro. The help with Jinsung is gonna wait. The help which Jinsung is gonna get might be the people in the snow garden. Hence, Elaine Cope is alive and Mew Love is joining the war. Mew Love, Mew Love, Mew Love, Mew Love. Tax the goat, the greatest. Mew Love. Oh, we loving Mew. Hey, he is that guy. With him, you don't want to duel. Yeah. Hey, that's the goat. That's the goat. That's the goat. Hey, that's the. Okay, sorry. Um, Also, another reason why I don't think other family heads would join this war or whatever. Too many characters, many families. You have to somehow section it all into even pieces. I agree with that. I'm tired of seeing higher rankers get demolished. Facts. Sachi who? Fakey fake, bro. Who? Boro who? I honestly don't need a lot of deaths from the important characters in TOG, but I want there to be consequences, like them actually getting bodily injuries, etc., missing limbs, or them getting trauma or mental damage due to climbing the tower. Imagine a character decided to quit because they had to deal with so much effed up ish with Bam, would show how the tower breaks people and destroys them mentally, spiritually. Yeah, we've seen it with like that girl in the name hunt in the last station with like the guy in the wheelchair and stuff, but we did that's being told to us. Like, show somebody we care about be demoralized or be psychologically damaged from the climb. That'd be dope. My goat boo, who could have blocked White Soros a fraud? Where's Huariyun? Right? Need her back, bro. Boro. Boro could have blocked White Sword. I think Jinsung probably contacts FUD to whatever so he can get help after going after the BAM situation. I don't know if he has anyone speak for mind. And even if you might not think this, you're just doing that. The lack of Huariyun is so weird. Seeing more of Rachel. What happened to my boy Dan? Didn't his legs get sliced up by Rachel? Dan, I don't remember. I don't remember. I can't think of that. I don't remember what happened. So, do we think SC's officially started to dwindle since his comeback? Bring back my guy. Yeah, I'd argue these last three chapters were pretty weak, all things considered. This was the best one out of the like the last three or last four, but um, I would argue the one thing he has going for him that he didn't have maybe before is that the level of intrigue because for how long we've been waiting to see family head shenanigans. I can't look away now. Like when we were just doing shit in the cage, I'm like, I don't give a fuck about these canines, these mutts, these bark bark, roof roof dog niggas. I don't care. This shit is boring. You see, right now, what he's doing, even if you might not be liking it, he's dangling the family head shit. He's just like dangling it right here. Ooh, ooh, you want that, don't you? You want that. You like that, eh? You want to see trauma in Gustang, right? So that's what he has going for him right now. I'm very intrigued by it. Anytime they're on screen, I'm paying attention. You feel me? I think that Wagner's arc slowly descends into madness and becomes a true of jihad. I'll be sick. But for real though, Harun would guide Bam to plot lines. I missed that. I missed it too. See, isn't that funny when someone asks what happened to that guy, and then we're actually what happened. And a lot of times we don't remember. It's effing ridiculous. So you stop throwing random characters in the fray. If Bam don't clap Rachel after learning she killed Arc after, I have no hope for bro. He's not gonna do it. Family head sections are what is carrying the chapters. Yep. Of the last three chapters, I love getting to see the young family heads and some backstory. I like seeing Cobalt level one. Cobalt, little frog, first evolution before he became a deity. Ate those 1,000 snakes. He'd evolve Cobalt. You gotta eat a thousand snakes to become a deity. You know what I'm saying? He has evolution conditions. It's crazy how little we know about Haru and Red Witches after all these years. Yeah, man. Oh, truly, truly a different time with Tower of God, but we'll see what he can do with it. We can see what he can cook up. But there, do you think that No, hold on. No, I don't think. No, I can't call that a trend. I'd be lying. I was gonna say, do you guys find there's a trend of newer series or series where they just keep throwing in new people? But I actually would argue that's not the trend. I see a lot of very focused, dedicated casts and smaller casts even come out to this day, even sometimes taking place in one location. I truly believe it takes a very, very high level competent writer to constantly have an ever expanding cast and give every single person the level of focus they deserve. I don't know if you guys have noticed this. I've noticed this, and this is what I think. I'm not saying I'm absolutely right on this. Casts that have like ridiculously large stories, narratives, games, whatever the case may be, with an extremely large, ever expanding cast of characters. I noticed that on a very superficial level, in order to give them like to have them express themselves, emote, and give a very surface shell level understanding of what they're about, they have a very ridiculous personality and or look that ties in or juxtaposes that personality. So I'll give you an example. You'll have the guy who can't doesn't he yells everything he says no matter what. He's big, he's buff, and he never speaks with an indoor voice. It's like, oh, he's manly and boisterous and very whatever. It's like a lazy way of not having to specifically dive into that character's ins and outs, what makes them tick. So you make them very extravagant, over the top to some degree. Like, this guy always gets lost. This guy that is so shy that he's like a boo. If you look at him, he covers his eyes. Like, like they do something like that. And I think it's not a bad tactic to some degree to make them stand out in some ways. I just don't think it's enough, and it gets old. It gets old after a point. What do you guys think? And the minus of a story like politics and conflicts with a lot of factions, and just like it's just doing a great job writing in general. I agree with that. The execution is a problem, not the concept. It's crazy. Yes, most times it's a new seasonal arc or character that moves the plot forward. One thing for sure is ever since he came back, I think he knows what he's doing. It's just he's dragging a bit before he was just doing random stuff, especially with White versus Bam, Senior Pink. He's actually a good character, but still, that's a good point. Senior Pink wasn't loud, was he? I also like this character. The ridiculous reason why he was wearing a big was very creative, in my opinion. Yeah, I hear you. Senior Pink's not a bad example, but he ended up actually being like pretty good and endearing, despite wearing the weird baby costume as a grown ass man. I find it annoying when people say we can't go back to regulars because it would be boring since we already looking at high rankers so long, but I would say that's a good writer can make an arc surrounded by regular level characters just as interesting as high ranker based arc. If SIU is only able to make the cast of the arc interesting because they're strong, then all hope is lost. I can agree with that. I see what you mean, Naya, my dude. I'm honestly envious of Haku. I can't remember most of these dudes' names. I usually personally prefer seeing a smaller cast for more character interaction dynamics, but Haku remembers everything. Yeah, I don't have that man's brain. I will like if you don't basically if you as the creative team don't put respect in the character or do something to make him memorable, I probably won't remember them. You know what I'm saying? It's probably a crutch to have a character showcase a single character trading space of actual personality, but it depends on how much screen time they get personally. Yeah, I think like it could work. I'm not inherently saying it's a good or bad thing, but it's something that I've noticed with a lot of these series. Like, okay, let's say Hugo's gonna die. What could we say we know about Hugo? Very materialistic, as Lost would say. Material girl. Oh my god, totally love shoes. Get new heels. Like, we got that off rip based on how he presented them. But do we know the ins and outs? Like, what if, like, was Hugo poor? And the reason why Hugo loves expensive luxury and lavish things is because she got it out the mud. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm saying. But again, I don't think static characters are inherently bad. Dynamic characters are probably in some ways my preference, depending on the story, but just something I've been thinking about. I agree though, most of the characters aren't even memorable and it feels no natural and distinct personalities tend to giving them outlandish personalities. Like how One Piece guy it's like how the One Piece guy remember every side character. Even I used to be able to do that, but not anymore. I feel like the only way we can go back to climbing is if without bamming the crew unless they receive a power down. The worst part of TOD for me because too many characters was when they were playing that game with the Aspector Squadron. I don't remember what arc it was or whatever, but too many parties involved, too many random dipshits fighting and all that. At least the fights were short and SC kept it pushing. Giving the regulars that weird stock market game with Hamatoa the Crab, Sebastian the Crab was kind of mid. I feel you on that. I remember when Cat Guy got defeated by Hansung and his past was shown. I was losing my shit. Like, bro, who cares? I don't know this guy. I don't care. I will say this about that because I pointed this out personally. I hear you. When Hansung you beat Hasacha Haracha, the first time we seen beastification with the acid black hole, I'm like, why is this nigga getting the most detailed fucking backstory of all time? I don't care about this dude, and he's dead. Why now? Then we did it with Kendrick Dial when Cha and I guess we could say Hatsu got him out the paint. And I feel like I'm missing another character too that they got one, a couple. But I thought that was more so to showcase that Yasracha was an apex predator, a ruler, somebody who can get people under his command that want to dominate and rule people. I don't think the flashbacks were specifically about the individual characters. Like you said, who the fuck cares? And you're dying now, anyways. I think it was more so to show how dangerous Yasracha was. But in hindsight, I don't know how right I was right I was about that. But that's what I was thinking. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. I remember, yeah. I think TOG is better reading it 20 plus chapters now week to week. Unfortunately, the extra money I make from content creation and Tower of God helps me out, so I'll be here every week. I feel you though. Um, I mean, Tower of Games can't work if you got a cast of 30 plus people involved. Yeah, oh, man, I missed it. Old Oda, he was so good at creating small characters that remembers like the Milk Girl and his cover stories. Yeah, like Moda. Yeah, he was really good at it. I don't know what happened. All of them got it, but yeah, at this point, at the end, they were trying to show yes, that's your character. You're actually right, but at that time, I didn't like it. No, I hear you. I hear you. Yeah, that was more of yes, Ratchet backstory. So we can all agree that Kun should have died when he got his heart exploded. Man got two power ups that don't even do cool things with them. Just give the talking flames fish to Ewa, third best girl. Real, I feel it. By the way, I'm gonna start Kubera. Should I read from the webtoon or another site? Kubera gang, y'all in here? Is there somewhere he could read the Bible Kim subs from the beginning, from the get go? Okay, Manga Dex. Yeah, go to Manga Dex. I remember how early Bible Kim started. I know for specifically for the third season, you're gonna want to get away from Naver because they're doing BS. I even check from time to time and be like, what are they talking about? So yeah, SC was actually trying to trick us into thinking Yaspacha was like that when he really wasn't. All that for that little shitty fight between him and Yama. Yeah, that's why I'm saying in hindsight I could have been wrong because really Trauma Rays is the guy. So yeah, Bible Kinmon, go watch the Flamefish have family had memories and AA got super report memories. It's gonna take him getting used to memories. Memories. Like pick you up in Ottawa, Montreal. You mean? um, Ottawa. Sorry, just arranging some ride stuff for when I'm gone this weekend. But for a season 3 specific stretch, you need to read it from chapter 6 to 116 webtoon because manga does not have it. After that, go back for it. All right, I'd argue the theme got carried by showing Trom was a predator over Yas, but I don't think SC portrayed it well. Yeah, I'm with that. He did make him a pet, but again, the reason that I was taking those backstories better at the time because I thought it was to hype up Yasracha more than anything else. That's all I was saying. That was my point. My diggity point. I haven't downloaded it within 3 years. All I needed from the season 1 crew and season 2 swear soon saw her get away from the 10 family dramas. Having Yas slowly died, argue, yes. Yeah, that's the slowly dying thing's not moving me. I don't know if it's a hot take, but it was hard for me to invest in Yama Man after the last arc. Like it's the cause of the power up and his lack of growth. Like it feels like he got his fight. I just fade out at times when he speaks. I think I want to ask. I'm gonna put out a little short asking the community at large how they feel about Yama right now, and what hopes and dreams they have for him. Because I feel like I'm teetering, And I understand anybody who's on the like. I'm done with Yama, bro, but I'm not there yet with him. I'd argue like I still have more faith in Yama than I have Karaka right now. So I want to ask the community what they think about it. I'll make it a little short. Because tomorrow I'm gonna put out the discussion. If you might already see it on Patreon with my boy Tris, but I'm gonna put that out tomorrow. I actually haven't edited it yet, but damn it, I gotta edit that tonight then. Fuck. All right, maybe Wednesday. And tomorrow I'll put the short. Oh my god. We have Yama fatigue, brother. I hate them both. Kill him. I'm in the middle. I think should scrap the large cast and get the important cast. Yeah, I think we cut the fat off, cut off the fat that we don't need. I hate Yama as a character now. Damn, damn. I'm sorry, Yama. I was trying to get them to hate, bro. But the one Yama that we do love, Kubera. I think SU just sucks when it comes to keeping the characters intimidating. Karaka, Doom, White, Hansung Yu. I'd throw into that category as well. I don't know what it is about him introducing them a certain way and stuff too. It's like listening to too much Drake. I don't see a lot of Drake, but I hear you. I get it. All the Slayers we have seen are in the mud now. The only Slayer that matters is the Slayer candidate, secretly. So I forgot to ask this in the previous segment or whatever, but did you guys have a favorite panel? And why was it Androssi's cheeks being back and cheeks in the panel? Yes, sir. That was the best one. We don't have to talk about that. And favorite piece of dialogue. Might have been when Kun wrote the obvious message for Bam to Yuri. Like, my dearest Yuri, I regret to inform you that I have an important mission that I have to go on, and thus I must leave you, my love. But I cannot have them know that I shall be disappearing soon. So if you can just distract them for the moment, like that shit made me laugh. I thought that was pretty funny. That was cool. That was funny. Even Tron, bro. I talk about him at all. The characters I want back is Karaka. I do need my Karaka back. I really do. And Dorsey, Ball, yes. Favorite panel, Bam flexing to the camera. That went crazy. It did do. Dorsey Cheeks, favorite dialogue is Luffy be a shall fall. Okay. I don't money out much as the character, just the outcome of the build up and whatnot felt disappointing for him. Yes, Ratchet and all that. It doesn't really feel like they have. You know what? Tomorrow, after I talk about TMNT, maybe we'll just have a discussion about Yama and the other Slayers and stuff, and commanders and characters that we had high hopes for and how they're panning out. Maybe have a discussion with the chat. Maybe just do it that way. See if I can get some people to come through. Do that instead. I am not gay with that Bam panel. He's buffer than your ex. Couldn't becoming Bam's ghostwriter. But what I'm invested in right now is memories of the family heads being shown and then remembering they hate the simp that is Jihad. If they break out the erasures of Hardman, all's forgiven. The boring slogs. But before this, yeah, I feel that. Peep the chapter. Feel it. The downfall of Slayers. Yes, okay. SUG shrouded out. Does anyone else feel like it doesn't really feel like a war between two families, more like a bigger battle? One of the most interesting things about the war to me would be how the tower would react to seeing two great families fighting. This war would affect the tower politics and lives of regulars. This is where perspective change to someone like Wagner who can show the regulars clamoring think about the war. I feel it. Frauded out. I see you got to be some different shit because he made Dorsey dump take this chapter and Bam solo sell. Yeah, we were just speaking about that. But we'll see what he has cooking for us next week. Again, I think these last 4 chapters we were all a little bit more down, or last 3 a little bit more down. I think it was the best out of the 4. Last week I was not feeling it all, but we'll have to see where this goes. We'll see where this goes. See how it all connects and how it converges when it's all said and done. It doesn't feel like a battle war. It feels like 2 dudes throwing action figures at each other. I hope Shiliel has a plan for Bam. I want to know what she's up to. Hope it's worth. I like the chapter though. Before being caught up, finally, probably playing a big factor of that. Yeah, I know you've been catching up recently. Might be intentional, hard to say. I like the general direction of the story. I'm in a good place for the most part, but the last 3 weeks I wasn't really feeling. Not to mention anything related to Yama and Cat, dude. Can't remember his name for life. Yes, Ratcha. It's funny. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it tomorrow. But um yeah, man, I kind of just want to focus on the family head stuff. I'm being honest. That's what I care about the most. You feel me? So we're gonna need that. We're gonna need that. We're gonna need that. I'll be back tomorrow. I want to stream every day this week, just because I know I'll be gone. Um, basically Friday to like Tuesday ish. So I want to try to get a stream in every week. So we'll talk tomorrow. The issue I had with the plot line was the booking being a trap. Family heads and lore have been the biggest impact on me. Yes, 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 yes. Me think SAU is doing a Slayer theory to make them the new family heads. You think so? I need more Rachel. Nine about to have a vacation. About to have a vacation of a lifetime. Love to see it. By the way, don't know if you know Dumas has the book that goes with Tiara's pen. Dumas, really?